Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker. And today we're going to be talking about a very different one considering I'm on a petrol powered Honda CBF 1000. And what we're going to be talking about is range anxiety. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I've often, discussed it in the past in regards pretty much everyone's main misgiving about electric bikes. And it's very hard, I think, to understand that until you've experienced it. And I definitely was one of those people. I was like, it can't be that bad. Until I was over in Scotland. So for a bit of background, we went on a trip to Scotland. They were having a fuel shortage at the pumps. I don't believe there was an actual fuel shortage as it was just at the point of use it was a shortage. Which obviously is the shortage for me, so it was a shortage for the end user, right? Whether there was or was not fuel there, because I know there's a few people who made comments about that the last time, and I understand it might have been in a tank somewhere else, but I couldn't get it, and that's why it was a shortage for me. Now, the main thing I kind of want to touch upon, sorry, the roads are here really slippy, so I have to take it handy. The main thing I want to touch upon is it was very interesting, and it was honestly because I suppose I do these videos all the time. It was the first thing that popped to my mind when I was getting half stressed about the fuel. It never fully bothered me because, like I said, it's petrol. I always assumed we'd find a way out, but that's not always the case with charging. For charging, I suppose, yes, there is electricity available. Yes, if you have your plug with you that allows you to charge in a house, I could have charged in a house, but with petrol, I suppose, even if you come across a good Samaritan who has some petrol for their lawnmower, that you could buy it off them when you're back on the road in 5 minutes. And that was kind of why I was never overly worried, but I do think it would be different with an electrically powered motorcycle. So anyway, basically my CBF, I usually let it run for around about 160 miles. I would use this bike in kilometers, but unfortunately the Mark 1, while it does have a kilometer indication on the dash, it never actually allowed, it doesn't allow you to change it on the odometer, so the thing that counts the distance that you've done, which is what I use to monitor the tank. There is a fuel gauge. It's not very useful. It's a rough guide of how much fuel you have left, more so than an actual properly functioning fuel gauge. It works to a degree, but you really want to be monitoring your fuel as well, usage per mile essentially. We had multiple situations where I had not the smallest, but I had the least range out of all the bikes that were there. So there's the old saying, your tank is only as big as the person who has the smallest tank, or whatever way it goes. But basically you can only go as far as the person who has the smallest tank in the group. So I was that person. Sorry guys. All of the rest of them did have more range than me. 2 up 2 down Insta didn't have a huge amount more. Look at that day though, it's absolutely beautiful. It is cold today. It's cold, but it's manageably cold. There's the Flinch Motovlogs as his favourite place in Ireland, the John Deere dealer. There you go, Flinch. This is cool. I think this is Kilmanna itself, is it? Or no, Ballykeith maybe. I can't remember. I've lived here my whole life. I should probably know. When we knew I was getting close to bingo fuel, as they say, I knew that the bike, depending on how I was riding, could generally get to 180 miles. But it's not something that you'd really want to be testing very often, in my opinion. Certainly not something I would want to be testing. So we used to just try and find fuel, and fuel up wherever we did see fuel was kind of one of the rules. But once or twice this did catch us out. We were getting close. You'd stop into a couple of fuel stations. None of them had petrol. And anyway, basically that's all of the long ass background out of the way as to how this came about. And now I'm going to talk about how it kind of made me feel, which was not good to be honest. It's a strange feeling, like impending strandedment. Like you're looking into the gun barrel of, you might not be able to go anywhere for an extended period of time. and not by choice. It's a weird feeling, and it's not one that I'd really probably enter into voluntarily. And that's how we get on to the actual range anxiety thing. It's a real phenomenon, and I now understand it. I think it's literally, for me anyway, it was looking into that, knowing that, okay, if I do run out of fuel here and these fuel stations don't have any fuel, it's going to be an extended period till either A, we can siphon some fuel out of one of the guys' bikes, or someone who has some at home can help me out in this locale. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, and it's not something that I'd like to be doing very often. Hello, Granny and Grandad. How are ye? Yeah, it's not something that I really want to pick. And the reason that this is also interesting to me, and I know this is going to draw some ire from some people, because some people are very, very against electric bikes, which I don't fully understand, to be honest. I mean, they're still bikes. Yes, I do prefer petrol powered for the minute. They do have, but look, electric bikes have their place, you know what I mean? There's quite a few that are coming out now that are really cool. One in particular is the Damon Hypersports, whatever they're called. There's a new one, the Hyper Fighter, and I'll be honest, they might have just won me over with their gold, I suppose it's not an engine casing, is it? Their gold power unit casing, because I like gold, and it's a cheap way to win my love, but they did it. And that has some really cool power figures, and it has some really cool performance figures, but you'd still be in a situation where you're off out enjoying yourself, and you're looking at, and I don't think it's even the range would be the thing that would bother me, it's the weight. I was recently reading an article about a guy who went around England on a Zero SRS, I think it was, and he only spent £20 to do it because he got lots of free charging and stuff. But that consisted of 5,000 miles, and it took him 21 days. 21 days. Now, my issue with that is the £20 sounds fantastic. From a cost perspective, regardless of the initial purchase price of the bike itself, but 21 days for 5,000 miles. I don't know. I don't think you could do that. I don't think that's something feasible to do a trip on, and that's, I don't think electric bikes are feasible for trips yet. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you can plan it out, and this is where I'm getting to. Yes, you can charge the bikes, absolutely. But it's how long it's going to take. If there was like fast chargers everywhere, I honestly would probably buy an electric bike tomorrow, because they're so cheap to run, and I'd use it for work. I'd use it for shorter spins around Ireland. But no, like, it's just, you couldn't use it for a trip, which is obviously a huge thing a lot of people want to do. And I think what a lot of people who make the comments about, oh, you're overreacting to this range or that range. Look at that view, another lovely view. Doing a bit of land clearing there. Very nice. What a lot of people forget is, most people can only afford one bike, whether that's afford from a space perspective or a price perspective. And it's something I'm guilty of. Obviously, I sacrifice most things in order to do bike things. But most people, that's not really an option. And one particular person who is an absolute gent and friend of the channel and me, Chewie, who has his own YouTube channel, go give it a look. I'll leave a link in the comments, the pinned comment. He's looking at getting a new bike at the moment, and it's always something that I think of. It's like it's just the way my brain works. I think it's too long as an engineer or something. I'm like, okay, what's the best solution for this person's specific set of things that they need? And I'm always, at the moment, I try to put myself into the shoes of everyone who's looking for a bike. It's something I do. It's not something that I do on purpose. It just happens. And I'm like, well, what about an electric bike for them? Same as what about an electric bike for that person? Do they make sense or do they not make sense? Because it's not a case of I'm trying to say, oh, buy an electric bike. It's more I'm putting myself into their shoes to see, do electric bikes make sense in this situation? You know what I mean? That's kind of the position I'm coming from. And most often at the moment it's no, which is it's something that I hope is fixed, because I wouldn't like to see stuff like the Damon Hyperfighter, which I genuinely think is a really cool bike. It's a cool bike. And, you know, I wouldn't like to see that just become like a toy for wealthy people. You know, I like to see bikes used. It's the thing that kind of attracts me to a lot of bikes. Someone who's really using a bike. And I'm like, okay, that thing could be my donkey. Like this is. I mean, the CBF has a lot of detractors, and I'm going to make a video on why they're silly soon. Hopefully actually tomorrow morning. But it doesn't make sense to me that so many people don't look at bikes as a kind of an all-round tool they can use. You know, because for me a bike is like the epitome of what is a modular transport. You know what I mean? Like, I can take off all the boxes today. I just have my tank bag on, which is I'm really liking this tank bag actually. I can talk about it another date. I'm not gonna, hopefully you didn't see that poor dead animal on the side of the road. But it's something that, you know, I think personally, like, bikes are the most modular piece of transport you can get, and they make the most sense for a lot of stuff. You know, people who really want to be green, bikes are low impact, bikes are low occupancy. You know, they're only, oh, I should not have come this way, I can't see. Not only are they low occupancy, they do, a lot of them tend to use a lot less fuel if you buy one that does use less fuel. Yeah, basically I think they're just a good option from a green perspective without being green, you know what I mean? You can have a bike that burns fuel and is a hell of a lot of fun and makes lots of nice noises, and I love my nice noises like that. Well, like, more like this. Like that. Those are the nice noises I'm talking about. That's something that's important to me as a bike rider, and it's obviously something that's kind of missing from electric bikes still at the moment as well. I'm not sure, is that a challenge that they're going to be able to fix? I'm not sure how you fix that without losing the authenticity of the sound. I think that's part of it for me. You know, you can add fake sounds all you want. I don't want them. Fake sounds, they're fake. I want real ones. It's an important part of it for me. But anyway, to get back to it, it's something that, like I said, I often do think about. I'm like, okay, would electric make sense there? And oftentimes, unfortunately, no. And oftentimes, unfortunately, for me, it is that range anxiety. And if you are unsure about it, what I would suggest you try to do, if you're interested in this stuff like I am, now maybe some people are watching this video like this, oh wow, did you see that? Big buzzard. Or whatever it was. It's flapping too fast to be a buzzard, I'm not sure what it was. You know, if you've obviously no interest in this, then you can probably ignore most of what I'm saying. But if you do have an interest in it, you know, maybe tell someone, okay, I'm going to call you, I'm literally going to run my bike until it runs out of fuel somewhere, and you have to come with fuel and pick me up, which isn't even the same thing because you have a guaranteed backup. But you know what I mean, it'll give you some form of indication of how not great that feeling is. But I don't know, look, I just wanted to make this because I wanted to get across that it's just a genuine discomfort, you know, knowing I could run out of the dinosaur juice bones stuff that makes my bike go, and then my bike is essentially a big useless heap of metal. It can't do anything. You know, I can push it with my hands and stuff, but that's not a whole pile of good to me. That's almost, oh yeah, I need to make a review on this helmet soon actually. A lot of people are asking for it. I think I've used it long enough now to be able to give you a good indication on how it is. So I'm going to do that because I have some questions. I have some definite low points, but also some good points. So we'll get into that. I don't know, can I stop up here at these things? But I'd like to. Can I stop there? Maybe. Let's have a little look. So I don't know what these are, and I wanted to see for ages. I can probably stop here. Oh, long legs come in handy sometimes, let me tell you. Very handy. I have no idea what this is, but I've been meaning to stop. Oh, you turned a bit. Well, turn back. How How about that? Huh? I've been meaning to stop here for ages and have a look, see what it actually is. But basically that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is that range anxiety it's a real bloody thing. And I know people are saying it seems real, but my God, no, it's not a nice feeling. It's not something I would want to experience a lot on trips. So I'm not gonna say that electric bikes are there yet for me for, like, you know, a tour perspective. This is really cool. I still don't know. Oh, here we are. I don't know what these are. There we go. In commemoration of James Hoban, born in 1758 in a cottage located near the site on Desert Court Estate in the township of Reisk. How do you pronounce that? Reisk. Grange, County Kilkenny, where he trained and worked as a wheelwright and carpenter. Educated under the patronage of the Cuff family at the Drawing School of Dublin Society, he emigrated to the newly established United States of America. That's really cool. And settled in Charleston, South Carolina. There he was identified by George Washington, first president of the United States, as a practical builder, and ultimately received the commission on 16th July 1792 as the architect of the president's house. Oh, this is where he's from. I knew he was from Kilkenny. I didn't know he's from here. Like, not far from my home. Which later became known as the Whitehouse in the new city of Washington, D.C., where Hoban became a prominent citizen until his death in 1831. He was also really, really old. That is really cool. That is really, really cool. Okay. That's actually really cool. Look, the White House is there. Okay, that's actually really cool. I'm really impressed. That's really, yeah. When I stopped here, that is not what I was expecting. I don't know if you stand right, can you read stuff in the glass? You probably can. Maybe you can't. Maybe they just got some offcuts of glass and put some words on them, and we're like, no one's ever going to try to read all that. It'll be fine. They're not going to know. Fools. I think it's literally just sections of word like resolve. I see resolve there, and endure. Taurus, which is an Irish word. I'm not sure what Taurus is. I can't remember. Yeah, there's definitely words actually built into it. Darkness. Okay, so you character. You can see plenty of words. Basically, the whole point of this video is to let you know that I experienced range anxiety and I didn't like it, and I understand why lots of people now who have electric bikes and say that they really don't like that. I get it. I understand completely. I am sorry for ever questioning anyone who said range anxiety was a thing. And we ended up here at the memorial of the birthplace of James Hoban, who I knew was from Kilkenny. I didn't remember his name, and I knew there was a Kilkenny man, the architect of the White House. But that's his memorial, which is really, really, really cool. I did not know that was here. So yeah, if you watched, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please do click the like button. It does help the old YouTubes get my videos out to more people. And yeah, until next time, as always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. I really do appreciate what you do for the channel. You know that. I do tell you even more on the Discord and stuff. So if you'd like to become one of those people, you can put as little as €1. I think €1 or like $1 or something on Patreon, and then just, you know, I can give you a link to the Discord and you can chat to me there if you like. And yeah, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. I don't know what to say about that, to be honest. I'm actually kind of like, I'm a little bit in shock that that's what that is. I had no idea, none. I just know when I came out today, I was like, I'm going to go to that place and have a look. Let me know what you think. I think that's really, really cool. Oh, that actually dropped down a thing. I'm missing one of the things. There you go. And that was supposed to be up there. That's why it was turned. I'm a genius. Oh, I have fixed it. Yes. Anyway, let me know actually if you're from Ireland. Is there something really cool like this that I could come see in your location? That's my question for the outro crew. Maybe I'll meet you there. Bye.